Who are the elect, JT? Who are the elect? You got a big debate behind this. Who the elect is. They already been redeemed from the earth. We are the elect. Who are the elect? My question to the YouTube family. And I'm tying this back in with the rapture and then the video I just done earlier about the end times, which is the whole chapter of Mark 13. That's why a lot of stuff I didn't go into, because I wanted to do this other video, and it seemed like the questions, all these questions I just got in my email is what me and Pop been talking about all day. And then I just got off the phone with K-Ray. We talking about the same thing, but it just shows you confirmation on a lot of stuff. So we're going back to verses 19 through 27, because it's the question. These are the verses I have the question on, about who is the elect, and then if the elect is her, why is God coming back to rapture out the elect? I'm finna tell you why we got all this confusion. Now, the Great Tribulation. 19 says, for in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation which God created until this time, neither shall be. In other words, this tribulation is going to be so great. It's going to be so bad. And when I say great, I mean bad. That's why it's called the Great Tribulation. There's going to be some things going on here, man, that ain't happened before. It's going to be worse than before. And we look at this. This is Jesus talking now. Remember, this is all rolled in red. Verse 20 says, and except the Lord has shortened the days, no flesh shall be saved. No flesh shall be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he had chosen, he had shortened the days. Well, we look here, the elect is still here. I'm not talking about her as I'm saying her right now. I'm saying in this scripture, the elect has not been taken away yet. So they let you know the elect is going through tribulation, right? Now, he said I had to shorten the days because no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake. Well, that's his chosen. Now, the question is, folks are saying, well, are we part of the elect? Because remember, Revelations, John is speaking of things past, present, and future. So my question to you is, who are the elect? Because if you are following Christ, ain't you going to suffer persecution? But this is the part nobody want to hear about. We want to make Revelation feel good from the beginning to the end. But it's some good things in Revelation, but there's some terrible things going on with the elect. But people don't want to hear this. 21 says, and then if any man shall say to you, lo, here is Christ, or lo, here he is, believe him not. 22 says, for false Christs and false prophets shall rise and shall show signs and wonders to seduce, if even were possible, even the elect. So these false prophets, they making miracles. They doing some signs and wonders that people gonna be really fascinated by. But ain't the elect still here? Somebody gonna say, no, they ain't here. They've been raptured out already. Nope. I'm finna show you why. 23 says, but take heed, behold, I have foretold you all things. Now, let's look at Christ's return to the earth at the close of the tribulation. Notice I didn't say before. I said at the close of the tribulation. 24 says, but in those days, after that tribulation, there it is, not before the tribulation. After the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in the heavens shall be shaken. Now look at verse 26 very closely. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. This is after the tribulation. The elect ain't been raptured out of her, people. Now look at 27 very closely. This is what sums it up. 27 says, and then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect. He's gathering who? The elect. After what? The tribulation. He's gathering who? The elect from the four winds, which means north, south, east, and west. From the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of the heaven. Now, once again, the new heaven is going to be on earth, people. So we see here that he's coming after the great tribulation. And they shall see him coming through the clouds. Same thing he said in Revelations. He's going to be coming. It's going to be loud and clear, and every man shall see him. Everybody, every eye shall see him, even those who pierced him. So let's focus on the elect once again. He's coming back to gather the elect after the tribulation. And y'all wonder why that scripture Paul was talking about 1 Thessalonians 4:17. We're going to be gathered in the clouds, and you wonder why you got a lot of confusion on that. Well, when you look at the seventh trumpet, once again, we go back to Christ's number, 7, completion, the sound of the seventh trumpet. Ain't no trumpet's been sounded yet, people. These things got to happen first. That's why, once again, I'm going to say this in every video, Christ have to come after the devil finish doing what he can do. Because if Christ come gather the elect out ahead of time, this whole Bible will be a liar. All of these scriptures I'm reading will be a liar. Look at what it says very closely. But in those days after the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened. The moon shall not give its light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great authority, power, and glory. So he's coming through the clouds to gather who? His elect. He sent his angels and shall gather together his elect from north, south, east, and west. So people, my question is again, who is the elect? Some going to say the 144,000. Well, don't some of y'all say that the 144,000 is already with him? They have been redeemed from the earth. And they were all spiritual virgins. They were all men. Well, if they're already with him, so what you saying? He's going to come back, put them on the earth, and then gather them up again? No, let's get the understanding on who the elect is. That's the question to the YouTube family. Who are the elect? Now, let me say this, and let me quote this like Pop, which we was just speaking about earlier. Now, if there was no elect in the tribulation, why would God come back and gather up the elect? So wouldn't it make sense to say that the elect is going through the tribulation and he's coming after the tribulation? What did the scripture just say? To gather the elect? Not before the tribulation. After this affliction, these terrible, horrible times. That's why when you keep getting deep with the Bible, and it tells you how you're going to be offered up. How sons are going to turn against fathers, mothers against daughters. Who are the elect? Now, a lot of people keep saying the elect is the church. Well, what church are you talking about? Because there's a lot of churches I know are very crooked and wicked, or they've been ran by the devil. And you wonder why the church is all messed up. May the Lord have a blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of his holy word. The church is so messed up right now. That's why God is angry at the supposed to be Christians who's following God. That's why he said, I'm going to have my judgment start in the house of God first. Let me judge the house of God first. Then you wonder why when you fast forward to Revelation, what do you see? The 7 churches. Judgment being started on the church first. But y'all talking about the church is raptured out. The elect is raptured out of here. Well, the elect is going to go through some tribulation. Now, who you determine the elect is, I'm going to leave it up to you. But I'm just reading to you right here in red what the Lord has spoken to us. How you going to have a testimony without a test? How you going to be a Christian and not be persecuted? Come on, people. And once again, I'm not here to debate. I'm answering these questions that were sent to me earlier. So there it is. So if God is going to come back to get the elect, how you going to say that the elect is already with him? We already was out of her ahead of time. He raptured the church out before this. Well, who is these elect right here? Who is it speaking of? Because if you raptured the elect out before the great tribulation, who in the world is the devil going against right here? The devil don't have no reason to go against his own self. No, he got to get God's people. And I'm going to leave you with that. Be blessed.